Okay, let's just get right to it. 99% of all jobs will be gone by 2030. Not outsourced, not downsized.
Yeah, you heard that right. 99%. That is the specific on-the-record prediction. We are talking about a level of job loss the modern world has literally never seen.
Deleted. Now, that's not my word. That is the exact word used by one of the most credible AI scientists on the planet, a guy who spent 15 years of his life studying this and, as he puts it, is no longer optimistic.
And I know what you're probably thinking right now. Okay, here we go again. Another AI doomsday prediction. But hold on. Let's talk about who is actually saying this. His name is Dr. Roman Yampolskiy, and this is not some tech blogger or a venture capitalist trying to pump up his investments. He's a serious academic.
He's a tenured professor of computer science. He's published more than 100 peer-reviewed papers on the dangers of AI. But here's the thing. Here's the detail that really made me sit up and pay attention. He actually coined the term AI safety way back in 2010. Think about that. When most of us thought AI was just something out of a sci-fi movie, he was already laying the groundwork for how to manage the risks. A track record like that, well, it earns a listen.
So let's get into the argument that, honestly, most people just don't want to talk about. You see, every other big tech revolution in history, steam, electricity, computers, yeah, they all killed off jobs. But every single time, they also created brand new categories of work. The old argument was always, don't worry, new jobs will just appear.
While according to Yampolskiy, AI shatters that historical pattern. And here's why. See, every previous technology was just a tool. A really powerful tool? Sure, but still just a tool. It needed a human to operate it, to find new uses for it, to invent the new economy around it. But AI is not just a tool. It's an autonomous worker, and it can also invent the next tools and figure out the new economy and then do those new jobs too. It automates the very process of invention.
Just think about what that does to the whole just retrain argument. A couple of years ago, the big advice was learn to code. Then AI got better at coding than most humans. So the advice changed. Okay, fine, become a prompt engineer. Now AI is so good, it's writing its own prompts. That cycle, the time you have to learn a new skill before it becomes obsolete, it hasn't just gotten shorter. For a lot of jobs, it has collapsed to zero.
And that's just the white-collar stuff. We haven't even talked about physical jobs. The other part of this prediction is that by 2030, humanoid robots from Tesla and a bunch of other companies are going to be good enough and, more importantly, cheap enough to replace the jobs we always thought were safe. You know, the ones that need a body. And look at the calendar. 2030 is not that far away. So, yeah, that is the bad news, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is absolutely bad news. But buried deep inside this really bleak forecast is something specific, something you can actually use. He identified just five categories of jobs that he believes will survive this tidal wave. Now, here's the absolute key to understanding this. These jobs don't survive because humans are better at them. In fact, an AI can probably do the core tasks better already. No, they survive because of something he calls human preference. For reasons that come down to trust, or tradition, or just raw human emotion, people will still choose to deal with another human. The survival of these jobs has nothing to do with the task. It has everything to do with the relationship. And here they are, the 5 safe harbors in a world of total automation. But don't think of these as just jobs. They are roles that are rooted in something that AI structurally cannot replicate. So let's break them down one by one and figure out not just what they are, but why they make the cut. First up, the human accountant. Okay, look, an AI can do your taxes faster and with fewer errors than any human alive. We know this. But here's the point. Do you really think Warren Buffett is going to fire his personal accountant of 30 years to upload his entire financial life to some black box algorithm? No way. He's sticking with the person he trusts. So, what's the move here? You have to stop being just a number cruncher and become a trusted advisor. You specialize in those high-touch, complex client relationships where that personal trust, that is the actual product you are selling.
Number 2, the therapist or counselor. In a world with a super intelligent AI, what can you possibly contribute that it can't? Well, you can contribute your own lived human experience. See, an AI can know about sadness by analyzing a billion texts. But a human therapist, they have actually felt sadness. They have an authenticity that AI can simulate but never truly possess. So the play here is to double down on that humanity. You specialize in the areas that need genuine shared understanding. You build a practice where people don't come to you for a diagnosis. They come to you because you're you.
Third on the list is the artisan or craftsperson, I love this quote from Yampolskiy. He says, "Our desire for human-made things is almost a fetish." And he's right. When an AI can create a perfect version of anything, instantly, suddenly the little imperfections, the story of a human hand, that becomes the ultimate luxury. This market might get smaller, but it's going to become way more valuable. So what do? You stop competing on speed or price. You start selling the story, you show your process, you build a brand around your craft, and you make human-made the core selling point. Real scarcity is going to be the new premium. All right, number 4 is the only truly new job on this list, the AI liaison. Think of this person as a translator, a bridge. They live in both worlds. They understand the tech on a practical level, but their real talent is explaining it to other humans. They take the raw output from an AI and make it actually useful for a business or a client. So what's the action plan? Forget about becoming a world-class coder. Instead, become a world-class communicator. Take courses on AI for business, get good at project management, and position yourself as that essential human bridge who makes all this crazy technology work for real people.
And that brings us to the final category, which I call the irreducibly human roles. We're talking about teachers, nurses, and social workers. These are jobs built on care and physical presence. The teacher who really knows their students, the nurse whose touch can be reassuring, the social worker who has to sit in a room and navigate a raw family trauma. So what do you do in these fields? You lean hard into the parts of the job that are fundamentally human. You become a mentor, not just a lecturer, a caregiver, not just a technician. You become the person they need when only another human being will do. An AI can be a tool for these people, but it can never, ever replace them.
Now, I have to be completely straight with you. That's not a very big list, is it? The market for handmade pottery is not going to absorb millions of laid-off project managers. It's just not. The point here isn't that these 5 job categories are going to save everyone. They won't. The point is that in a landscape that's about to get incredibly difficult, these are the few areas of real, genuine safety.
And this might be the most important takeaway of this whole thing: timing. Every single one of those careers we just talked about, the trusted accountant, the empathetic therapist, the respected artisan, they all run on relationships, on reputation, on years of built-up trust. You cannot just decide to build that in 6 months when things get bad. The people who are going to be okay are the ones who start building that foundation right now. Not in 2029 when the panic sets in. Now.
The real irony here is that the jobs that survive this aren't about having the right skills listed on a resume. They're about being the right person. Someone that other people specifically trust and value and want in the room. So the question isn't just, are you in the 1%? The real question is, what are you doing today to position yourself to become part of that 1%? Because that window of opportunity, it's closing.
And look, if anything in this has changed how you're thinking about your future, even a little bit, then I want you to know something. This channel exists for one simple reason: to help you specifically navigate the economy that's coming. Not to just report on every new AI model, but to focus on what you can actually do about it.
So if that's what you need right now, hit subscribe. Because our very next explainer is a deep dive on job number 4, that AI liaison role, and we're going to lay out a realistic, step-by-step roadmap for how you could build that career starting from scratch. This is what you need to know. And honestly, you don't want to try and figure this all out alone. I'll see you there.